Hello. So today I thought it would be fun if we kind of explored my makeup routine evolution. So like where I kind of started and then the middle and like what I do now and how it vastly differs from each other. And we'll get into that. But before we do get into it, make sure you're subscribed before you leave and give this video a big thumbs up. Also, hit the bell notifications because I'm not on like a regular uploading schedule right now, so if you don't want to miss my videos, hit those bell notifications so you get emailed every time I upload. And follow me on my makeup related Instagram. All that stuff's always down below. Let's dive right in. So let's start. So this is like, from the beginning, I've always liked makeup. I've always like wanted to play with it and play with other people's makeup and like adults makeup, you know what I mean? So I've always been into makeup. Obviously that's why I like started talking about it to strangers. But when I first got into it, I just like would repurchase the same stuff. Like it wasn't like how I have it now where I have kind of a collection and I know what's going on in the makeup world, that kind of thing. So I'm going to show you all the stuff that I used to use on a daily basis. And I feel like a lot of people did the same type of style when they were like 18, 19, if you weren't really super into makeup and what was new and like that kind of thing. But I'm talking too much, so let's just dive right in. So first thing I would use is the Aveeno Clear Complexion Daily Moisturizer. This is almost gone. This was like my favorite moisturizer for a very long time because it has, I guess, salicylic, yeah. It has salicylic acid in it. I don't even know if this is going to pump. I got it. I don't know when this is from, so we're going to put it on my face anyway, but I should probably throw this out. But I would use this all the time because I had acne-prone skin and salicylic acid was better for my skin than benzoyl peroxide. I just noticed a difference with salicylic acid, and anytime I tried any topical treatment with like a benzoyl peroxide, it never worked. So I'm just going to slather that on. That is thick. I don't remember it being that thick, but it's probably because it's like expired. Okay, now we are all moisturized. Now, I don't think I'm alone where I never used primer. Never used primer, ever. Like, moisturizer was primer. You know what I mean? Didn't wear sunscreen, any of that. So, we went right in with it. So, I used the Bare Minerals Original, and I used the shade Fairly Medium or the shade Fairly Light, and both have cool undertones. This one is the shade Fairly Medium. And I don't really use this powder anymore, but how I would do it is I would get a flat top brush like this. So this is the IT Cosmetics one, but any flat top brush, I probably have the one that I used. But I would just dab it in, right? Just get a little bit on, tap it off, and then I would just like pat it on my skin. Just right over that moisturizer. Now what's nice about how I used to do my makeup is it would take me like 5 minutes because there were so little products. Like we're probably about halfway done the whole like routine. Actually looks like really nice. Like I feel like that looks really nice. There's nothing wrong with the Bare Minerals powder. I probably purchased like 10 or 50, like between 10 and 20 of these powders in this shade. I think this one actually is like a good match because I'm a little bit darker. But I would use this when I wasn't like tan because I've been in the sun, and it's just like it's too dark for me to wear when I'm really, really fair. So that's how we're looking. I feel like that actually looks really nice. So that was the base. There was no blush, bronzer, highlight, any of that. Like this was it. Then I would, if I was like a fancy night, like if I was like going out, like even in college, if I was going out, I would wear this little pigment, which is like a silver, and I would put that like on my eye. And then sometimes I would put like a black on this half, but I'm just gonna use this one. There was another pigment I used by Bare Minerals. Everything was Bare Minerals. And it was pink. And I have the other two. I have the brown and the purple, but I can't find the pink, and the pink one is the one that I use the most. I used to use Laura Geller had a pink one in high school I would use, and I actually had it fairly recently. I decluttered it, but just like I would just put that on my eye, and then I would put like a black shadow on the outside if like it was a going out night, you know what I mean? Next I would use this, like not this one specifically, but some drugstore version of like a eyeliner. I would either use this, or when I got into like liquid liner, I would use the Stila one and just draw like a line. So I'm going to use the gel one because that's like what I did a lot. So I would just go and I would do, so I would do about like halfway over. I don't know if you can tell, but like it's just about like right here. It's a little bit longer than I would have normally, but I couldn't, like, it's not getting super close to the lash line. So that's pretty much how I do it. And then I would do underneath. And then I would do sometimes my waterline. It depends. Like when I was in high school, I would absolutely do my waterline. But in college, I would just do the top. So I'm just going to do the top for now. This is like very hard to do. I wonder what brand of drugstore eyeliner I used. Probably like Maybelline or L'Oreal or something. I don't remember. There was like a specific kind. I remember some brand had like a green one with a brown top, and I think that was a brown one, like a brown shadow or brown color. Jesus. But I don't remember what the brand was. And then I would use my Buxom mascara. And I think we all went through that phase where we used those, is it Maybelline? Like Maybelline or L'Oreal has that pink mascara with the green top. Why can't I get this open? There we go. But I hated that mascara. Like I don't know why that was so popular because I hated that one. The wand was not great. But this mascara is one that I have repurchased again and again. And even now I have one on backup. I do really like this one. It's been my favorite for a long time. Just think the wand is so big. It just like gets every lash. And I'm sure I have like better ones in my collection now. But I just think you can't really go wrong with this mascara. It's the Blackest Black is the shade. It's the Lash Mascara. That's all it is. By Buxom. Alright, and that is my completed look. It's not that bad. I think in high school and like in college, I didn't know makeup, and I had such bad acne that like my goal was just to cover the acne, and I did that poorly. But like now that I have like kind of a smoother face, this powder looks really good. Maybe I'll use it more. Alright, but yeah. So, I don't know. It's so simple. And just with no like other products on my face, it like kind of feels weird. Oh, and I didn't do brows. Or like lips, really. So yeah, that's first. For the next phase of my life, this is when I kind of started my Instagram, and I started watching like YouTube videos and tutorials, and like I found out what a crease was, like that kind of stuff. So we're gonna go through, I think that a lot of these things you're gonna say that you've used too when you were like first getting into like the beauty community, because this isn't really like makeup necessarily. These are like things that the beauty, I mean it is makeup obviously, but this isn't like stuff like your mom would have, you know what I mean? This is stuff that is totally influenced by YouTube and influencers and that whole like stream like platforms, or that whole like mentality of like being an influencer and like having all of these makeup things. So I have a bare face again. Oh, I need, I don't think I have like a moisturizer I used necessarily. So I'm just gonna use my Pixie Rose Ceramide Cream because we all know that I love this stuff. But I'm just gonna slather that one. I'm gonna use primer because this is when I started using like every step of makeup possible. So I'm gonna use the Dr. Brandt Pores No More. I still really love this primer. I just don't use primer every single day anymore. And in this point in my life, like when I was doing these kinds of steps, I was using primer every single day without fail. But this is a great primer if you have big pores. Oh, it's so smoothing, like it's so good. Highly recommend. We're gonna use the Estee Lauder Double Wear because at this point in my life I was just into full coverage. Like don't let anything peek through. And we're also of course gonna use a beauty blender to apply this. And here we go. I need a little bit more for like the third of my face I didn't get. You would think after all the years that they've had the Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation, and then they came out with the Estee Lauder like nude one, which was like the hydrating one, they would have just put a pump on it. Like you'd think at this point they would just put a pump on it, but no. I don't know why they're doing that. Because I don't even think they sell a pump. I think everyone just gets the MAC pump that they can buy a MAC pump. Comment down below if you've ever bought a MAC pump for the Estee Lauder Double Wear. I've never done it, but I know that that's a thing. Okay, I think that's good. We are nice and blended. And now we're going to go in with Shape Tape. Duh. So it's gotta be honest, I was never really a huge fan of Shape Tape. I got my first Shape Tape at the IMATs when I went in like 2017. So it was like kind of too light because they had already run out of all the shades. I got this shade in Ipsy, and it's a little bit yellow and it's still kind of light. But we're just gonna do all the things that the beauty YouTubers told me to do, which is highlighting the center of my face and under my eyes. Now, I don't really ever do this anymore. And I almost never like wear concealer. Like sometimes I do with foundation. So much like effort to do all this stuff. Ugh, my shoulder hurts. So now that we are completely flat, we're gonna add powder, which is the Laura Mercier powder, of course. This is basically a like YouTube made me buy it video, because I would have never bought all this stuff without watching tutorials and like people raving about the certain products. I mean, and there's nothing, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with doing this much makeup. It's just like now, I just wouldn't do as much. I mean, my skin looks like pretty flawless though, I have to say. Okay, now we're gonna add some color back in. I'm gonna take this guy, obviously well loved. And I would always use this with my bronzers because someone else did it one time and I was like, oh, that's a great idea. Because I always felt like this was too, whoa, that was way too much. Actually, in person it doesn't look bad. On camera it looks horrible. I always thought this was too big of a brush for blush, and it's literally called the Blush Brush by Real Techniques. So, alright, so we're bronzing up every bit, and then we're gonna go in with my champagne, or no, this is Prosecco Pop and Flower Child Duo. I don't know what brush I would have used, so we're just gonna use this one. And highlighter to me was like such a foreign concept. I don't know. And then we're gonna take this setting brush that everyone uses for a highlighter and just put this right here, and down my nose, cupid's bow, chin, and forehead. And then we are glowing. I mean, this just feels like so much makeup to me. Because it is. We're going to do brows really quickly with the Brow Wiz. I love this powder. I love this brow product now. But when I first started filling in my brows, this is what I used. And I feel like my brow routine hasn't changed that much, since I'm still using like the same technique and product. I never really used to use brow gel. So now we're gonna kind of explore how I would do my makeup. So my first I had palettes from Tarte, but this was like the first one that was inspired by like YouTube. My boyfriend got it for me. And what I would do with it, I would use this shade in my crease, and I would do like this one all over my lid, or do one of the shimmers all over my lid and like mix these in my crease. Like those were the options there. But I think we might just use the Morphe palette, because this is like very like OG, you know? Let's take a Sigma brush and we're just gonna dip in to this transition shade right here. And I feel like what all the beauty gurus taught me is that you need to use 17 different colors in your crease in order to get a beautiful look. You know what I mean? Does anyone else feel that way? I just feel like it's like Jaclyn Hill, for instance. She uses like 7 different colors in her crease. Like I don't think you need that many. I don't know. Now we're gonna go in with a deeper color, because that's what you have to do. I think I'm gonna take this one. It looks good. Do this one on this same brush, because that's never changed. I always use the same brush for everything. So I'm just going to do that on the outer portion into the crease. We're going to take one more deeper shade, and I think I want to do this one. Let's do this one. And just go right here. We're going to go back in with our first transition shade and make sure nothing looks crazy. I mean, I like that, to be honest. That's pretty. Okay. So, in this palette, I would either use this shade or this shade, really. So, I'm just going to do that, I guess. I'm going to just take my finger and use this one. I've always liked like a soft pink shimmer. And I am going to use this Stila one that I mentioned earlier, and I'm going to try and do a wing. We'll see what happens. Okay, so I did a wing. They're uneven, so that's pretty much on par with what I would normally do. So now we're going to do the bottom lash line, because that was a thing that I never did until people told me to do it. And we're just going to take I don't even know. Let's take this one. I don't even know if this is one that we used, and this one. We're going to just mix 2 random brown shades together and run them under. And then we're going to take the transition shade and use it to blend it out, you know. I mean, I know this, like I'm saying, like this is stuff that I really don't do anymore. I would totally wear this eye look. Next, I'm going to put this lip on, and it's because it's the shade Barracuda, and I think it's an ultra matte lip by ColourPop. And that's when, like, I was getting into, like, liquid lips and stuff. So I'm just going to wear this shade because it fits with the theme, not maybe the look. Yeah. Look at that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a matte, like an ultra matte. I mean, this shade is pretty, and it does make your teeth look very white, so I'm not really mad at it. It's just a lot. It's just like a lot of things happening. I just realized I didn't put mascara on, so let's just do that really quickly. Alright, that's enough. That's enough mascara. But yeah. Okay, now we're done. Alright, I'm gonna go wash this off, and then we're gonna do a quick tutorial on how I do my makeup today, currently. Like what I would wear today if I were gonna wear makeup today. Okay, so I just moisturized again with the Pixie product, and now we're gonna go into the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. And we're just gonna put that on the high points of my face and my chin, and take a brush and blend it out. This is probably, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll agree that this is how I've been doing my makeup lately. I'm going to take my Tristique Color Correcting Concealer and put that right under here. And just go like this. Okay. Then we're going to take my cream bronzer by Fenty. And I am just going to take that same brush I just used and stamp that on my cheeks. Forehead. And if you haven't bought this product yet, I highly recommend. Okay, that's that. We're going to take a little cream blush, which is the same, it's just Fenty in Petal Poppin'. For my eyeshadow, I'm going to go in with this palette by Charlotte Tilbury. Take a little bit of, oh no, I just dug into some shades. I'm going to take a little bit of this guy right here. And pop that in my crease. And then take this one right here and also put that in my crease. This process I feel like hasn't really changed, just like the products I'm using has changed. I still don't use eye primer. That has not changed. Sometimes I'll use a concealer, but I rarely use eye primer. I'm going to take this shade in Jean from Charlotte Tilbury, pop it on my finger, and put it on my lids. Do a little bit in the inner corner to brighten. And then we're going to use this Marc Jacobs mascara, which is kind of my current favorite. I got it through Influencer. No! I got it on my face. I'm just going to leave that go for now so I can get it off with a brush. And then for brows, all I've been doing lately is just this Benefit brow gel. Not even filling them in. And by lately, I mean the past, I don't know, 2 weeks. So it's not what I do all the time, but it's definitely been recently. Alright, I'm going to grab the mascara with the spoolie. I'm going to set my face because I'm still oily and I still don't like the feel of unset makeup. That has not changed. But what I've been doing is just using my Velvetizer powder and going in with this Tati Beauty thingy and just putting in the center of my face because I still want to be glowy. And then I'll add this Lila B lip oil that I just got. I don't wear a ton of lip products, but in the morning I'll throw on a lip product if I'm doing a get ready on my Instagram stories. So I'm going to go in with a little bit more highlighter and just use these two. And that's it. So I feel like this one is probably the most dramatic. I mean, well, 1 and 3 are kind of the same. 2 is the most dramatic, I feel. But this is it's just more soft and easy and glowy, and I don't know, it doesn't look as makeup-y in my opinion. And that's kind of just how my style is right now. It's the middle of summer. I don't feel like putting a whole foundation on my face. So that's just, it's how I'm doing. So yeah, let me know what, like, if your style has really changed in the past couple of years or in the past couple months or whatever. Did you kind of have the same sequence as me? Because I feel like people who really are getting into YouTube and tutorials and stuff, like, they do go through this phase of like caking on makeup, and there's nothing wrong with it, but I do think that most people come out the other side and they're like, okay, I don't think I need full face foundation every single day, or full like coverage foundation every single day. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!